This video lesson will be on surface areas of prisms and cylinders. To find the surface area prism in a cylinder is our objective. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to find the surface area of a three-dimensional figure. Find the sum of the areas of all the surfaces of the figure also. So let's zoom out. So a prism is a polyhedron with two congruent parallel faces called bases. The other faces are called lateral faces. You can name a prism using the shape of its base. So here we have a rectangular prism. The reason why we have a rectangular prism in this case is because the bases are, pentagonal prism. The reason why it's pentagonal prism because the bases, indicated by the two blue arrows, are parallel. There's two of them. And the shape of the bases are pentagons. So we call it a pentagonal prism. And then on the right, we have a triangular prism because the bases, the two sides that are parallel to each other, are triangles. And we have lateral faces and lateral edges. And we're going to be finding the surface and lateral areas of these prisms, and next will be a cylinder. So you have an altitude of a prism is a perpendicular segment that joins the planes of the bases. The height h of a prism is the length of an altitude. A prism may either be right or oblique. Oblique just means slanted. So we have right prisms, meaning that the height and the bases are perpendicular to each other. Or you can have the oblique prisms where the height and bases are not visually seen as perpendicular. You just have to extend them to make them perpendicular. So in a right prism, the lateral faces are rectangles and a lateral edge is an altitude. In an oblique prism, some or all the lateral faces are non-rectangular. In this book, okay, or in my notes, you may assume that a prism is right unless stated or pictured otherwise. So we're going to go with lateral area and surface area. So lateral area, obviously, is the sum of all the lateral faces and its area. And the surface area is the sum of the lateral area and the area of the two bases. So lateral and surface areas of a prism. Okay, the lateral area is P times H, okay, where P is the perimeter and obviously H is your height. So if you find your perimeter, times it by the height, and you have your lateral area. The surface area of a prism is the sum of the lateral plus the sum of the two bases. Now, capital B means area of the base. So capital B is area of the shape of the base, okay, and the base of the prism. So perimeter of the base, okay, so P is perimeter of the base times the height. Capital B is the area of the base. So remember, the area of the base could be a triangle, a rectangle, a regular polygon, or a trapezoid. So your area of the base is dependent on what shape you have. So lateral, perimeter of base times height, surface area, lateral area, plus 2 times the area of the base. Let's go to the next slide. And let's do an example. So let's find the lateral area. Okay, well, the lateral area, okay, is equal to the perimeter of the base times its height. Well, what's the perimeter of the base? Well, the perimeter of the base, this is a triangle, okay? So if this is a triangle, the perimeter of the base is 5 plus 5 plus 6. I'll highlight it for you. So here's my base. How do I know that this red triangle is my base? Because I have a red triangle right here. And remember, in a prism, the bases that are parallel to each other are the bases. So this base perimeter is 16. Now the height is 12. The height is the distance between the two bases, and it also has to be perpendicular. In this class, we're always going to assume that the bases will always be connected by an edge that is perpendicular, unless I tell you otherwise. So there's my height. So I know my lateral area is going to be 16 times 12. So if I do 16 times 12, I get 192. So my lateral area is 192 centimeters squared. Now if I want my surface area, this is lateral area plus 2 times capital B. Well, I have my lateral area, which is 192, plus 2 times capital B. I don't know capital B. Well, capital B is area of the base. Area of the base. Well, area of the base, I need the area of the triangle because my base shape is a triangle. So I need to know area of a triangle, which is half times the base times the height. Well, if I have a triangle with 5, 5, and 6, and I want this area, so area of this triangle, I'm going to draw in an altitude. So draw in my altitude. So when I draw an altitude of the isosceles triangle, I bisect the base, therefore this is 3 and this is 4. So my area is half, base is 6, height is 4, which is equal to 12. So area of the base triangle is 12. So my surface area is lateral area plus 2 times capital B, where capital B is the area of the base. So we have 192 plus 24. 192 plus 24 is 216. So my surface area is 216 centimeters squared. So surface area of this triangular prism and the lateral area of this triangular prism. So a lot of work you have to do. Perimeter of the base, height is the distance between the two bases, and then third thing, find capital B, where capital B is the area of the base. And the area of the base will depend upon what shape you have. Let's try another example. Okay, I want the lateral area. I'm going to call this one B1, and here is base 2. So my bases are parallel, and also 2 of them. So my lateral area equals PH. Well, my perimeter of the base, okay, if this is 4, that means this is 3 and this is 4. So perimeter of the base is 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. So 6 is 14. The height is the distance between the two bases. So the distance between the two bases is 5. Therefore, my lateral area is 14 times 5. So when I do 14 times 5, I get 70 centimeters squared. Now I want to find the surface area, which is my lateral area plus 2 times capital B. I have my lateral area, which is 70, 2 times area of the base. Remember, capital B is area of base. In the previous example, it was a triangle. My base was a triangle. My base, B1, is a rectangle. So area of a rectangle is 3 times 4, which is also 12. So I have 70 plus 24, which gives me 94 centimeters squared is my surface area. Let's try another one. What's the surface area? Okay. Well, if I want the surface area, I still need my lateral area. My lateral area equals P times H. So perimeter of the base, this is 3, this is 4, it's a right triangle, so this is 5. So from A to B is 5, okay? Pythagorean theorem, 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. So my perimeter of the base is 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 12. My height, the distance, so here's B1, here's B2. The distance between B1 and B2 is 6, so my height is 6. So my lateral area is 12 times 6. So when I do 12 times 6, I get 72 centimeters squared. So surface area is lateral area plus 2 times capital B. Lateral area I just found was 72 plus 2 times capital B. Capital B is the area of the triangle, because my shape of the base is a triangle, which is a half 3 times 4. Remember, area of a triangle, base and height always have to be perpendicular. So 3 times 4 is 12, divide by 2, and you get 6. So area of the base is 6. So I have 72 plus 12, which gives me area, surface area will be 84 centimeters squared. So let's try this one. What's the lateral area and surface area of the polyhedron? Well, it's a regular hexagon. So lateral area equals perimeter times the height. My perimeter of the base, my base is right here. Here's base 1. It's a regular hexagon. Okay. So it's 6 times 6, which is 36, and my height is 12. Therefore, my lateral area is 12 times 36. So we have 12 times 36 and get 432. So my lateral area is 432 meters squared. I want the surface area, which is my lateral area plus 2 times capital B. Lateral area is 432 plus 2 times capital B. Well, capital B, I need the area of a regular hexagon with side length equal to 6. So you need to go back to your notes, okay? How do you find area of a regular hexagon with side length 6? So you're given side length and you want area, okay? Let's actually pull up our previous notes, okay? Area of a regular polygon. Let's go back to previous notes. How do we find area of a regular polygon with side length? Right here. So from our previous notes, right here. Given side length and you want the area of a regular polygon, right here. So my area is going to equal, well, 6 is number of sides. Side length is 6 squared over 4 tan HCA. Remember, HCA equals 360 over 2n, which is 360 over 12. So 360 over 12 is 30. So tan 30. So let's find my area. So we have 6 times 6 squared over 4 tan 30. And we have 93.5. 93.5. So that's my area of capital B, 93.5. 93.5. So as you can see, you're going to need your prior knowledge. How do you find the area of a regular polygon? Well, it depends if you have the side length, the apothem, or the radius. In this case, I gave you the side length, so area is number of sides times side length squared divided by 4 tan half the central angle. Now I can do all the work, add it up. So we have 432 plus 2 times 93.5. And I get 619. So my surface area is about 619 meters squared. And this one is a nice problem because it's reinforcing area of a regular polygon. And that was just prisms. Now let's actually work with cylinders. Cylinders like your soda can. You still have two bases, but the bases are circles. So if your bases are polygons, it's a prism. If your bases are circles, it's a cylinder. So you have a right cylinder and oblique cylinder. Right cylinder means that the height is perpendicular to the base. Oblique cylinder, the height and the bases are not straight up perpendicular. So in this case, in the examples in this course, always assume that in prisms and cylinders that the height and bases are perpendicular unless I tell you otherwise. So you have your lateral and surface area of a cylinder. So lateral area is equal to 2 pi r times h, or lateral area is pi dh. Surface area is equal to lateral area plus 2b, or more precisely, the surface area is 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r squared. Why is it that 2 pi r squared? Because remember, 2b, capital B right here, okay, is the area of the base. Well, the base is always going to be a circle, and the circle is pi r squared, and that's how we get that. 2 pi r, okay, that's your circumference. H is the height. So radius of the base of a cylinder is 4, so my radius is 4. The height is 6. I want the surface area in terms of pi. So the surface area in terms of pi is 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r squared. You're just going to have to memorize these formulas. 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r squared, right here. 2 pi rh, 2 pi r squared. Remember, if it's in terms of pi, you don't use pi in the calculator, so just substitute your numbers. 2 pi 4 times 6 plus 2 pi 4 squared. 4 times 6 is 24, so you have 48 pi plus, we have 1632 pi. So when you add them all up, you have 80 pi inches squared is the surface area. Now don't forget, your lateral area is just 2 pi RH. Okay, 2 pi RH is your lateral area. If you just want your lateral area, so the lateral area is just 2 pi 4 times 6. So my lateral area is just 48 pi. Surface area is 80 pi inches squared. Cylinder has a height of 9, so I don't really need to draw any pictures because I gave you everything. So if my height is 9, my radius is 10, I can find everything. So lateral area is 2 pi RH. So 2 pi 10 times h. So my lateral area is going to be 180 pi centimeters squared. 10 times 9 is 90. 90 times 2 is 180. Therefore, my surface area is 180 pi plus 2 pi r squared. So 180 pi plus 2 pi r is 10 squared. So I have 180 pi plus 10 squared is 100. 100 times 2 is 200 pi. So my surface area is 380 pi centimeters squared. I'll draw a little visual. If you want to see what this is actually going to look like. So here's my cylinder. Right there. There's my cylinder. I gave you the height. The height is 9. And then here is my radius, which is 10. So if you had a soda can that was 9 centimeters high with a radius of 10 centimeters, you would have a surface area of 380 pi centimeters squared. Again, I'm using it in terms of pi because that's what the question wants. The question wants the answers in terms of pi. So here are some good practice problems to practice with surface area and lateral areas of prisms and cylinders. If you have any questions, email me, ask during class.